Hi, and welcome to Richmond TV's Community Focus. I'm your host, Jason Robbins. We have a great show lined up for you today. We have Don Graham with us from the Richmond Area Historical and Genealogical Society to talk about the upcoming Heritage Day Festival. How you doing today, Don?
I am doing very well, and I do appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about this event, which is quite special to RAGS, the Richmond Historical Society.
And we're really happy to have you back on the show.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, when is the Heritage Festival this year?
The last weekend in June, so June 26 and 27, that's obviously a Saturday and Sunday. So it's going to run from 10 in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Typically, the Heritage Festival is on log cabin weekends, the log cabin weekend, right?
That's correct. The state of Michigan uses the last Sunday in June to promote visitation to log cabins throughout the state, and obviously Richmond has one of the better ones. And so we want to be in concert with that, try to stimulate interest in that cabin and get more people through it. I know a lot of people in the area have been through, and everybody that goes through says, wow, what an amazing building to have here.
And it's such a good idea too, because the historic village over BB and Park, correct? That village has all kinds of buildings and stuff. It's not just the log cabin, so which is why you have the Heritage Festival.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah. One of the reasons I got involved in the Historical Society was because of those buildings. I mean, you've got a newly restored train depot, the one-room schoolhouse, the museum itself, obviously, the barn, and then the log cabin. So yeah, we're pretty excited about all of that.
Now, for that weekend, you bring in a bunch of different folks who have different artifacts, tractors, cars, and stuff. What do you intend on bringing to the Heritage Festival this year?
Yeah, well, you're correct about that. There are going to be some old tractors, old cars. As far as the cars go, we've set a limit on pre-World War II. And in fact, if any of the listeners, viewers, have a car that dates prior to World War II, we'd love to have them bring it and display it. Those cars will be along BB Street. Secondly, tractors. And some of these tractors are 100 years old. Some of them are museum quality, some of them are right off the field. And so we're looking forward to that. And people are going to be coming from quite a distance to do this.
Who is this event for?
Entire families. We're hoping that people are tired of being cooped up because of COVID. This is kind of like a coming out party. We've got things for men, women, and children. For the men, there will be the antique cars and tractors, and some of these cars pre-World War II are, the brass cars, for example, very, very rare. But there's a man that had a Pontiac dealership. He says, I've got 3 brass cars, very, very valuable. Could I bring them on Sunday? Well, we were absolutely delighted about that. So there'll be tools, there'll be displays in the barn, there'll be tractors for them to look at. It's an opportunity for dads and grandpas to tell their kids, yeah, this is what I used to work with, and this is how this works, and so forth. For the women, we've got people that are going to make lace, they're going to spin wool. There's exhibits in the log cabin, in the museum related to household items. There are several other things for the ladies. For the kids, we've kind of made a focus on the children. There's going to be games, there's going to be activities, there's going to be a candy toss, a coin toss. They're going to be able to milk a cow. The Historical Society spent quite a bit of money bringing in a milkable cow. Now, it's not real. I hope people don't come and expect to be able to, but it's a very good simulation. And then there's things in the barn, exhibits that they can touch and feel, and all of it will be sanitized. We'll have hand sanitizer and gloves for the kids to put on when they touch and run some of the hand equipment and so forth. So, yeah, there are going to be things there for the entire family. Okay.
Now, I remember a couple years ago, you had a big tractor there that was getting pretty old. I heard that it went past its 100th birthday.
Yes, matter of fact, almost right to the day that we're talking, that tractor is 100 years old. It's called a Rumley, Advanced Rumley oil pull, and quite unique.
Yeah,
that will be there, and so we're looking forward to having that back again.
I remember just seeing all the levers and being completely confused as to how I'm going to move this thing forward.
Yeah, you got a chance to to drive it. So yeah,
just forward.
Yeah,
Kind of like the kid when you're first learning to drive,
Yeah.
and you're allowed to back up and go forward in the driveway.
Yep.
With some of the do you have the petting zoo, or do you have something like that that's going to be coming?
Yeah, exactly. We've partnered with the Wolcott Farm Learning Center, and they're going to bring some animals again. The kids will be able to touch and feed those. But in addition, they're going to be able to be educated. The Wolcott Museum, or Learning Center, really. They're going to bring some educational materials that they can hand out. And so not only will it be entertaining for the kids, but educational as well, and we're pretty excited about that. Wolcott does a great job on that stuff.
So you guys got a lot of events going on that weekend. Are you planning on doing anything when it comes to concessions, food and stuff,
Yeah.
water, things for, it might be a hot day, it's at the end of June, so.
Right, yeah, we just pray that there's no rain.
Right.
In the event, we'll go on rain or shine. And we'll work in between the rain and so forth. But yeah, there's going to be free food. There will be, quite frankly, a donation jar there, but the food is free. And just exactly what we're going to have, not quite sure, but at least there'll be hot dogs and chips and cookies and drinks and all of that. So, yeah, and the entire event is free, for example.
Right.
Should put an exclamation point on that. There's going to be a horse-drawn hayride as well. McKiernan's are going to be back again.
Nice.
And I know that a lot of people came and they said, well, I'd really love to ride that wagon, but I don't want to take other people's spots. Plenty of time.
Right.
And so plenty of opportunity. You won't have to wait in line and so forth. So people ought to take advantage of that. And
they basically just go around the block too, right?
That's correct, yeah. Around the baseball fields. Yep.
Okay. Nice. Do you have, now are all the same events going on like both days, or do you have different events or different shows lined up for one for Saturday and one that's happening on Sunday?
Yeah, it's going to be a mix of that. The main things will be both days. For example, we're going to have an antique sawmill operating, so people can see logs turned into lumber. And we're going to have a shingle mill operating both days. We're going to have a Model T that powers a corn husker and sheller.
That's cool.
That was a highlight 2 years ago. He's going to be back both days. A lot of the craft people, we're going to have a candle maker, we're going to have a lace maker, we're going to have a wool spinner, we're going to have a wood carver, we're going to have, trying to think what else, but people along that line, just like what you would see if you went to Greenfield Village. Most of those people will be there both days. Some of them, because of a wedding shower, for example, and other odds and ends, will either be there in the afternoon or the morning. But there will be some things that are only there on Sunday. These brass cars, for example, that are very rare. Right now, at least, they're only going to be there on Saturday. There's another event the man is committed to on Saturday, and if that falls through or is canceled or whatever, he'll be there both Saturday and Sunday, but right now Sunday. But motorcycles there both days. For the most part, both days. And yeah.
Now, you said you're going to have some people spinning wool and stuff. Are these going to be people that are like dressed period accurate and stuff like that?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. Yeah.
So basically, you're turning the historic village into Greenfield Village for a weekend.
That's one of our goals, quite frankly. Obviously, number one, we want to get people to take advantage of these resources that are in Richmond. Just tremendous opportunities there. But we want to do some of the same things that Greenfield Village does. That's our benchmark, quite frankly. Yeah.
Right. As it should be for anyone. I mean, it's a great place, and you guys do a really good job of keeping, of just maintaining and updating, not really updating, but when I say updating, I mean updating with historic, with the historic mindset there. So when I say updating, you're when you update the log cabin, you're giving it repairs with that's period accurate.
Correct.
So you're only using, for the most part, methods that they used back then to keep the integrity of the building, correct?
That's exactly right, and appreciate you making that comment. Yeah, there are people there that are sort of responsible for maintaining and keeping up these buildings. And they do careful research. What kind of shingle should we use? What kind of siding should we use? What kind of paint? There's even a fellow that, in order to get the right color inside the log cabin, he was mixing linseed oil and graphite. I mean, this is things they did back in the 1800s. So yeah, we try to be very careful with the way that these things are preserved, taken care of, updated, to use your term. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's great how well curated the village is overall, and it's really great that you get a weekend to celebrate that.
Yeah, yeah, and there's new exhibits all the time. There's a fellow, Norm Gibson, that has put new exhibits inside the museum. Several people have put new exhibits both in the barn, downstairs, and upstairs. 2 years ago, people weren't allowed upstairs. This year, they will be. And there's a lot of interesting things up there now.
Okay. So once again, just let's give the dates one more time.
June 26 and 27, that's Saturday and Sunday. 3 F's maybe to help people remember it. Food, free, and family. Most important, family. It's a great family activity. So.
What times will it be open?
Again, from 11 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I said 11, excuse me, 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, if people want to show up early, there will be a few people around. But from 10 to 4, there'll be docents in the buildings to answer any questions people have. There'll be a lot of owners of the cars and tractors there. If people have questions about how should I restore my car or my tractor, a lot of advice, all free. Yep.
Okay. Don, is there anything else you'd like to touch on?
No, I think that's about it. Again, we're very excited about it. We think it's going to be a great opportunity. A lot of hands-on activities for the kids. All of the buildings will be open. So, yeah, just encourage the people to come on out.
Of course.
We're looking forward to seeing them.
Well, I would like to thank you, Don, for coming out today and talking to us about this.
My pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. For more information on the Heritage Festival, you can go to RichmondHistoricalSociety.org, and you can also email Don Graham at dgraham@secotools.com. That's SECO-tools.com. You can also give him a call at 586-405-4786. You can view this and any other program on our Richmond TV YouTube channel. You can also check us out on Comcast Channel 6 within the city limits of Richmond. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.